World War II to the Cold War was arguably the golden age of tanks. There were many that were built, with categories like light, medium, heavy, and super heavy tanks. Today, we're focused on light tanks. The main combatants will be USA, Japan, USSR, and Germany. So why not get started the oh-so-honorable people themselves, Japan. Japan designed around foreign service during the Second World War, the first of which was the Type 95 Ha-Go. The Ha-Go went into production in 1936 and was designed to support cavalry, although they were mainly used for infantry support. The gun would be a 37mm main gun with two 7.7mm machine guns. In 1942 to 1943, the Type 98 Keen-E would enter production and feature more effective and sloped armor. It would use a 37mm Type 100 gun. Like always, the secondary gun will be the 7.7mm Type 97 gun. In 1942, they would also build the Type 2 Kami, which would be an amphibious tank, and like always, would feature one 37mm main gun with the Type 97 machine guns. The Type 4 Keen-E was built in 1943 to 1944 as sort of a home defense weapon. It was a combo between the now obsolete Type 95 Ha-Go hull and utilized the 57mm turret of the Type 97 Chi-Ha medium tank. The 57mm was arguably the worst choice as it made the Type 4 weigh a ton. During the war, all these tanks would be used to camouflage and roll through jungle environments and climb hills. They were doing really well at first because they were fighting China and Korea, two countries that didn't have tanks at the time or good anti-tank weaponry. Once America introduced the Sherman, it all came crashing down, as the Sherman felt what it was like to be a Tiger tank. Yes, the Sherman couldn't maneuver as easily towards hills or through jungles. They were much more armored than any of the 37mm tanks would like and easily withstand shots from all these tanks. But how can Germany compare? Let's be honest, Germany's not winning. All their light tanks are outdated. The first German light tank would be the Panzerkampfwagen 1. Its main armament would be a two-man crew using two MG-34 machine guns. It was originally used as a training vehicle due to the Treaty of Versailles restrictions. They saw combat in Spain, France, North Africa, and of course, Poland. In 1935, the Panzerkampfwagen 2 was designed as a stopgap to develop the Panzer III and Panzer IV. It was armed with the 20mm autocannon and 7.92 MG-34 machine gun. It was used in the late war as a reconnaissance vehicle, being turned into a Panzer II Lux. There are also the Panzer 35T and the 38T, which were Czechoslovakian tanks integrated into the German army when it was occupied. They all became obsolete when Germany started using the Panzer IV, Tiger, and Panther more and more. Now let's see true speed in the Soviets used early production T-18 and T-19. They were designed in 1928 and 1931. They would have close resemblance to the Renault of T. It was designed to be way faster than the FT, but canceled for the T-26. The T-26 was based on the Vickers. It even had a 45mm gun instead of the 20mm or 37mm like the Japanese. The most used light tank of the Soviets would be the BT series, specifically the BT-5 and 7. These would be based on the M1931 tank's Christie's suspension, which would allow them to run on tracks through the rough terrain, ultimately making it into the T-34. They would also have a 45mm cannon. How about the Free? The first light tank by America will be the M1917, which is based on the Renault FT with better visibility. It would have a 37mm main gun and a 30 caliber machine gun. The first light tank in the US Army in World War II would be the M3 M5 Stuart. They were even used by the British nicknamed the Honey Tank and were equipped with a 37mm main gun M6 accompanied by the 30 caliber machine gun. They were used extensively throughout Africa, Europe, and the Pacific. In 1943, the US would build the M22 Locust and it was built for airborne missions and was equipped with a 37mm main gun. It didn't see much action, it was only used by the Brits. In 1944, America's true light tank was built, the M24 Chaffee. The tank was built to replace the older M3 Stuart for recon, and was upped in speed and upped in firepower using a 75mm gun and 50 caliber AA machine gun and a 30 caliber coax gun. I'm not gonna lie, this is a straight no-brainer. I'm giving it to the US. Not only does the M24 have great speed, it outclasses all other light tanks with a 70mm main gun and really angled armor. But what do you think? Do you think the Germans or Soviets weren't outdated, or the Japanese managed traverses over the superior firepower of the Chaffee? I'm Ghosty, and you're ghosted.